Listen, in the Wild West, there are only two types of people. Those who watch this stream, and those who do not. And you already know which one you are. That's why I would like to welcome you back to another one of my streams. And this time, I am working on D6 Feet Under. Again, it's been a while. I've tried to focus on Fairy Heist lately, and I think I have some new ideas about how I could make this game actually happen, how I could make this game better. Here's the thing. I've talked previously about themes, which is this way of folding a paper so that it's a teeny tiny booklet. I want that for this game. I want this to be the character sheet of this game. And honestly, character sheet would be just the beginning. Because I could imagine as a game master having these types of booklets for all sorts of things, all sorts of areas in the game and so on. Hell, maybe even for... Okay, I could imagine the myths, which are supposed to be these massive or very powerful types of entities. The myths could have either a single book like this each, or share a single book separate from the areas. But that's kind of what I am thinking about. Right now, I decided I will write notes into a new document. By the way, I made a teeny tiny update to how this works, just for those who are not aware, because they don't know me that well. I don't really feel like using GM Binder for an eternity. GM Binder is fine, it's not bad, but it can go down sometimes. Not often, but enough to bother me, especially considering that it could someday just go down for good. Which is why I made this. It's my tiny alternative to GM Binder that I can write stuff into. And it's gonna display in real time because it works based on Markdown, HTML. Hell, I think I could even write JavaScript in that. I did not really try it, but whatever. The point is just that I have been trying to use this a lot more. The biggest issue I've had previously with working using this file is just the fact that whenever I would start it up, I would get back to that hello world writing, and I would need to replace it manually with whatever I'm working on, like the Fairy Heist rules or something. Well, not anymore, hopefully. I'm just gonna copy this to be sure, and if I refresh this, it should return back to this state. Okay, let's see. Boom, it saves automatically. I am so happy about this. You guys have no idea. Because I wanted this for a long time. I wanted to make some sort of saving function. That's why I included these arrows here for saving and loading, except I forgot which is which. And honestly, by now, I don't even think I need them. Oh, the bottom one is saving and upper one is loading or opening. This arrow is just for hiding the preview so that you could see just the website. And you know what this means? If I wanted to share this as a simple rules guide that is not a PDF, but like an HTML file, maybe with animations or something, I could just do this, hide the arrow key, maybe even the transition between, not transition, what's it called? A function for hiding or showing the editor. And I would just share this, and that's everything the person would see. And if they try to print it, I don't know if you will see this, but they will only print the side, the pages, not the surroundings. So it's sort of like a custom PDF reader, except it's completely HTML, which means I could do all sorts of funky stuff with it. Like, hell, if I wanted to, I could put a calculator into this, or stats tracker or something. And I just find that to be really cool. Another detail, I don't even have to rely on this being saved, since I could just take everything from here and put it into my HTML document. I'm not gonna open where exactly. The point is just that it would render whatever I wrote down in Markdown and everything like that. And that's what the people would see. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but long story short, it excites me a lot. Okay, let me just check to be sure that I am sharing only the window. Yes. Okay, and I do understand that the chat is kind of in a poor position right now. I don't really think it is that important since it's hovering over the editor itself. Like, it would be more of a problem if it hovered over the wheel right here. Which, okay, since I am writing the 6 feet under again, I would like to actually first switch to music a little. Let's see. Music and ambiance and music. Let's go with Frontier Town. Okay. The 6 feet under. It is time once again. And this time, I thought about what I could do to... Oh, hold on, what's this? Okay. Last time I talked about splitting it up into 6 pages and theorizing that maybe I could allow the person to get transformed on a body part basis. And I mean, that's not bad, but I don't know. It feels kind of weird to me. I'm thinking about what other ways could I do this in? And the last stream I made about game design, I think I stumbled into something there. Relationships. Well, relationships and events. So, here's what I'm thinking, okay? Let's just make a bit of an illustration as a... Okay, a teeny tiny table, but it will suffice. I'm thinking about how it could be ordered. Actually, I need to see what order of the pages are in. Okay, so let's just assume these two on the bottom left are gonna be front and back cover. You are not saying it right. There we go, better. So front cover, back cover will be the bottom 2 pages, and next up will be the 5 pages. This is actually the exact arrangement I should be going for with this. Yeah, looks good. Although I don't know if this is folded the right way around. Whatever. Whoever would have the rulebook in their hands would know for sure. So here's the idea. Front page will be for basic stats, equipment, stuff like that. And then the first page after that will be how you lived. The next one, how you died. And then there will be NPC 4, NPC 3, NPC 2, NPC 1, and Nemesis. Okay, that's a whole lot of terms I just made up. Well, I did not just make them up, I was thinking about them throughout the day. Ignore the top gray line, it's not that important for this. What matters here is just the arrangement. So, your front page will be discussing who you are on the most basic level. What stats you have, what kind of weapon you wield, what equipment you have on your person, stuff like that. The next page will be for the section of how you lived, which would cover your former profession. You know, former because eventually you become some sort of hunter. Hello, Kate! Greetings and welcome to the stream of Cowboys. Yeehaw. New animated avatar looking good. Thank you so much. It's been a long time coming, but I am so happy that it's finally done. And it's looking great, if I do say so myself, which I say so. And that's what I'm talking about. So, how you lived. This section would be about, well, the first moment is your profession. So, what you used to do, what you could be casually, like something along those lines. Second point is what changed. So, what caused you to become this sort of wanderer, traveler, who is seeking all sorts of places for revenge or whatever. Third one could be, I don't know yet, something about another change or something like that, reserved for a special occasion. Maybe a realization. What did you realize? Now, here comes the fun part. How you die. Because in D6 Feet Under, you keep coming back from the dead. It is just a law of nature or something like that. Here, I believe I could just have the player pick from features that relate to the afterlife beings or something like that. So that... Okay, whatever. The point is just... Actually, let's label these with the headers. You can get these features only if you die. So whenever you die and you make it through or whatever, you get a new feature on this page. Probably. I don't know yet. Alternatively... Okay, well, first of all, what happened to your soul? Are you cursed? some third thing. Because I'm thinking of putting 3 things on every page. Structuring it like that so that you would not have to write everything out by hand. You could just use a very clever tool. And speaking of very clever tools, I did help myself out a little today and asked for a favor from a certain chatbot, and it came up with this. This is basically a scene generator. So the idea is, here you would have various abilities which you could choose from and put on the zine. Then you do that for all the pages. By default they should be blank. Yeah. Let's just make it all blank for now. I'm not gonna bother with all of the pages just to illustrate something, because then we set up a print and look at this. This, I hope, is formatted like an A4 paper. In that, you look at the individual papers here and see, oh yeah, okay, this is, I don't know, the front page or something, the stats, this is the way I lived, this is the way I died, and here are my NPCs that influence me, here is my nemesis, something along those lines. Best part is, you can save this. You can print this out as a PDF if you know what you're doing, which I don't know right now, although where is rotation? Save as PDF, all pages per sheet, print using system dialog, background options, oh, background graphics. Oh. Okay, one more time, because I feel like I messed up a little. Let's just see. What do I call this? The example scene. Okay, saved it as an example scene. Now, if I open it, example zine, here we go. There we go. That is exactly what I wanted, except, okay, the text was... Actually, no, the text is fine. Interesting. If I get rid of all those lines, I could also have this serve as a blank character sheet. So you could just start with a completely blank thing and fill out a single section on a single page. What would this be useful for? Well, if you already have a character sheet and you don't feel like rewriting everything by hand, you would just print that one section on top of your actual character sheet that you already have. Maybe. I don't know yet. This could be worth it. I just don't know yet for sure. So, this is the progress so far. Maybe how you died could either be filled with... I was thinking for a moment that it could be filled with multiple deaths. Like, you know, one time you died like this, and then you died like that, and so on and so forth. But I'm thinking just... How do you keep coming back? Okay, so here's the idea. You die first time. It defines how you die. That's like... Think of it sort of like a race in D&D. Before this, he would be just a mortal, which is not even described as a human, it's just a person. Only after you die, it starts to matter what exactly you became. So, an angel, demon, and so on and so forth. And that could come with packaged with a deal of what keeps you from dying, what makes you come back always. Yeah, I think that could be it. Okay, now then. Here is a cool bit. Relay NPC. Each of these is tied to a specific name. Who were they to you initially? What they How did your relationship change? And finally, how did they die? Nemesis is gonna be the ultimate vendetta, which is, think of it like, what kind of, which of the myths do you want to defeat and why? Something like that. Now, this doesn't mean that you cannot have vendettas against other NPCs. I believe that could be a type of relationship. And NPC though, not NPC, Nemesis though, is a special vendetta. It is the game-ending type, world-changing, something huge and significant. Something that is well deserved and something that should be a challenge proper. That's what I'm thinking. Now, there is another thing I am thinking about. What if I named out all the NPCs? Which is a little weird because that would imply only one setting and only a couple of characters and so on and so forth. But. What this would do for this game is similar to Blades in the Dark. You could say that, actually, let's just have a look at Blades in the Dark character sheets. Or playbooks, I suppose. Let's just open a random one. And here we will see. Okay, let's just overall have a look at what's going on here. We have name, alias, crew, look. We have listed out heritages, which are specific areas in the world of Blades in the Dark. We also have some specific background options, and vices, of course. We have stress and trauma, whatever, that's already game stuff, not description-y stuff. Special abilities are all written out. This is something I originally wanted to do for D6 Feet Under. This is what I came up with. And by came up, I mean what I copied from the Blades in the Dark, of course. Here is the section I want to talk about. Shady friends. Telda, a beggar. Darmot, a bluecoat. Frake, a locksmith. Rosalind Kelly, a noble. And Petra, a city clerk. Now, what does this do for you? This involves you with the world your character is in. Because you don't have to make up these names. You just need to pick from them. And I believe you pick one that is a good relationship and one that is a bad relationship. So if I want to, say, have an insider on the cops or whatever is the equivalent of cops, I would put an up arrow with the Darmot, and down arrow I could say put with Rosalind Kelly's, a noble. Ooh. That would be pretty intense, probably. I don't know, because I don't know these characters. But I am pretty sure they are described in the rulebook itself, in core rulebook. So maybe they could be mentioned or described to the players in this XP Thunder as well. Maybe there could be a small cast of consistent NPCs that the player, no, that the game master could use in the games repeatedly. Maybe. I don't know yet. Anyway, that's at least my theory for now, my idea. Very, very rough idea. What three aspects could I give to the Nemesis? Because once the Nemesis is dead, your character is pretty much finished. Their business is done, unless they have other vendettas, but I would assume this to follow all other vendettas. Plus, I'm starting to think maybe three of them here are a bit too much. Maybe I could merge the relationship with death, relationship change with death, because if you maybe there could be space for two relationship changes or something like that. Well, here's the thing. Death would obviously change a person, the death of a significant, close person, but I don't know yet how I want to deal with it here. Okay, I need to switch to music, because it's been the same thing again. So let's go Wild West Saloon. I bet I already played before, but whatever. Let's check if my volume is fine. I mean, it's fairly loud. Oh, that's why it's loud. Because the volume reset to full. Okay, this is way better, I think. Okay. Maybe instead of Nemesis it could be Myth. I know originally I said that this is a game about revenge, but I don't know. I mean, it could still be about revenge, but do I need all of the NPCs to be only enemies? That would... I don't want to say that it would isolate the player, because obviously it would isolate the player, but the player would also have nothing to be invested in. I want 5 NPCs, or maybe 4, and then the 5th one who is a nemesis or something significant. Why would this matter is because a positive NPC dying would mean the player now has a reason to seek more revenge, you know? While a bad NPC dying would be leaving the player more empty and also putting a target on their back. Because you killed my father, how dare you? I don't even know who you are. Stuff like that. The big idea I was thinking about also is just character Z, which you never erase stuff from. Now this sounds great on paper, don't get me wrong. There are just teeny tiny problems, two tiny problems specifically. First of all, equipment, because you can lose equipment and you can find equipment. And second of them being luck. Pretty much everything else I could imagine some way of dealing with. Like merit, for example, I could split up merit into two trackers, positive and negative, and just allow the player to either go the positive way or the negative way, except every rest makes you go one way or another. Okay, the bar is getting too chatty, so... Please stop messing with the door. Goodbye. Now then, maybe this. Okay, you know what? Actually, I will admit it. Other stats. That's a third problem. Why would I make or dare to try making a character zine which you never erase stuff from? Well, two main reasons. First of all, it's a physical, practical reason, and that is, if I do indeed make it a zine, I already closed that tab, whatever. If I make it a zine, and I aim for something that the player would not have to write out by hand, it would be best off for me to... How do I put it? It would be best off for me to make it printable in a form which would not need to be erased, rewritten, and so on. If you become an angel once, you become an angel. If you become a demon, you become a demon. And that would also mean that I would need some way of changing an angel into a demon if I wanted that to be the case. Now, why else would I want a character zine which you do not need to erase stuff from? Thematic reasons. Because it's about, maybe instead of revenge and the cycle of revenge, this could be a story of how your experiences and people around you change you and form you. Actually, okay. Okay, so what if we make this about where you're from, what your job was, and maybe what changed? Something like this, maybe. Now, instead of just doing NPCs one by one, I could, in theory, make something about factions. Okay. So let's make it like this. I've considered making an option of picking a faction instead of NPC, kind of like what I said in the stream last time. And that is okay, but I don't know if that is exactly what I want to do, really. I know it is all a new area for me personally, so could be good, could be not good. I don't know. I am experimenting, and I'm kind of liking it. See, this is something that I like a lot, but my problem with it is that unless I were to reuse the font a lot, I would not be able to fit many on them on the page. Which is why I think it's gonna be for the best to split it up and write it down on thirds of a zine page. I do understand that this design idea was really cool. If I find a way of preserving this, I would like to, but for now, I guess it's gonna have to go. Okay, let's just ignore that for now, because making a character zine that you cannot erase stuff from would be a lot. Also, with the exception of character creation, which I could have a printable character sheet for, you don't really have to write all that much at the same time. Here you would have to write 2 things if you die, and otherwise, I think everything is just 1/3 at a time. And considering we have page divided into 8 bits, and each of those 8 bits is divided into 3 sections, 1/24 of a page, I don't think you would fit all that much text in there. And from my experience, if I start with an A4 paper, a zine of that size would be able to fit inside of my wallet. Actually, I have a zine on my table right now. The Proph Luck, Soul, Fit Grid, Wit, Obsession, Merit. Screw it, let's write it. Let's write that stuff down. Hold on. This is gonna be from page 2. So... why doesn't this work? There we go. Oh yeah, because programming, it starts from 0. Got it. Okay, now, these are dimensions for A5, which is a half. I believe I need to halve both of those. 5, 7, 6 divided by 2, 8, 8. .408. So this is roughly the size of that. Let me check. Yeah, that actually fits pretty nicely. Just for funsies, let me check the other one as well. I mean, it looks a little bigger on the screen, but I'm sure that would be fixed, like the printing and so on. Okay, so let's just try to outline what I wrote here. Whatever, I'm not gonna remove that for now, but I need to do something with the padding. Let's see, padding 2 centimeters. So if I decrease it to like half a centimeter, I think that should be probably better. Ooh, that is way closer. User select none and NBSP. Oh yeah, we got ourselves a name label. Next up, we need a small table. It's a good start, but I need those to be of same size. Almost forgot to leave a like, lol. Thank you so much. A like is appreciated, as always. Alright. I'm off to bed. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you so much, Kate, for being here. Hope you have a great sleep. What if I were to add a measurement of merit to the side? That could work. I need to test it out. There's my paperclip. There we go. Now, how big is that? It doesn't have to go all the way. I'd say maybe a centimeter border would be better, but would be good enough. Did this work? Why does this start at 2? Ah, whatever. Okay. Actually, let's make it like 1.5 centimeters, maybe? Oh, let's keep it at 1 for now. I mean, right now it is a pretty blank page, pretty empty. You could write down a lot of stuff in there. How do I make it fill the contents to the right? On the left. But in this case, folding right? No, that's not it either. Oh, wait. Oh, what the hell? This kind of works, but what's wrong? Table cell. There we go. That's much better. Now then, the rest of it could be just equipment. But let's first make sure this is a nice header. Maybe H5. Yeah, that works. How do I make the columns of the same way? Border collapse. Table layout auto. Did that do anything? Oh, it should be fixed. There we go. That's more like it. final section should just be equipment, with plenty of space for whatever the player is carrying, hopefully. Now, can I bolt this? No, so I'll need to do it like this. Okay. Making pretty nice progress. This is pretty much the first page I was looking at. Now it just needs one last thing, one last detail. And this one will be a little difficult. Did I decide on what are the minimal and maximum values for merit? Bullet type and weapon types. Oh man, I forgot I did this. These would be pretty useful to have. I guess they will have to fit into the equipment section. Okay. Clothes. Alright. Transform, rotate 90 degrees. Margin top minus 20 pixels. Oh, margin right then. Okay, let's just assume that it starts with -6. -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, those should be negatives. And these should be positives. Now margin top 40 pixels. What the heck? Why is the table looking like that? Oh wait, maybe I'm going wrong about it. I have an idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Okay, now okay, that is almost it. 40. I mean, that's not bad. That could work. Just move it above everything else. Yeah, that is, I guess, as good as it gets. And just for a good measure, user select none. That way, whenever I select everything, I do not select a whole bunch of random numbers. Excellent. So that is page 1, which is just your basic stats, equipment, stuff like that. At least how it looks in my mind. This page does not really need 3 sections per se. It just needs... Actually, you know what? I need to make H5 on the page. Pages that follow smaller. Actually, it's H5. Okay, font size. Instead of 20 pixels, let's try to make it 12 pixels. Oh yeah, that is way better. And this does not have to be H5, this just needs to be a bold text. This... Let's move this to the bottom of this. Order bottom, display block. Why is it so far? H1, H5. Oh, is it because there is a line beneath the paragraph P? I would believe that to be the case, yes. Margin in line and margin block and margin block and margin block and 0 pixels. No, that's not it. Margin bottom. Then what's the problem? Oh, because it's on span. There we go. So much better. Okay. I guess this works. Kind of. There's still something. CSS table text align. Instead of table, let's just ask for text align. Text align. Oh, it's just that. Okay, way better already. Now, if there was only a way to hide the borders of tables else which are not empty, but that is already filling with too many details. Let's just move on from that. That's page 1. That would be good. Okay, I need a drink. Hopefully everyone is having a good day. Actually, it's Sunday, so... Oh, work tomorrow. Water is good. Make sure to have a lot of drink. Okay, how you lift? This would be the second page, and it would describe stuff like your background and what started your adventuring days. I'm thinking of recycling the ideas I've had for neutral abilities, or neutral non-combat abilities, which were these, into backgrounds of some sort. So that's what I think I will try to do now. I will need to change these to 3s though. Okay. So, how you lift your own features. You former profession features. Change features. Or something like that. Or call features. Ooh. Yeah, I guess call is a good way to put it, because that could be interpreted both as a call to adventure or some sort of revelation, some realization, something. Okay, let's just come up with some home features. Where could a cowboy come from? They could come from mountains. They could also come from a ranch. Or some sort of farm, something like that. I could come from overseas, you know, a foreigner. I wonder if the word migrant would fit in there. Migrant etymology. 1670s. by 1807 of persons. Okay, let's just check what the internet thinks. I guess they would use the word immigrant, but I do like the word newcomer more. Let's just go with newcomer. And something more. City. Towny guy, because back then you did not have cities per se. I mean, I could in theory also introduce like Native American raised cowboys or something, but I don't know. I don't even know if this setting will have Native Americans or natives. It could have natives, but not necessarily with the Native American cultures. Because it's... I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Okay, so maybe this could relate to something about inventory management or resource management. Let me actually check and consult my other notes from Obsidian from my previous stream on this topic. Roll under or equal to succeed. Ah, okay, I got it. So roll under or equal to succeed. What a success if the sum of stat and dice rolled is a lucky 7 or more. Wait, does that really work? If you need to roll under to succeed, but 7 or more is auto success. No, that sounds a little silly to me. Oh wait, no. Okay, I get it. If the sum of stat and the number of dice you are rolling is 7 or more. Stat names, their starting sum must equal 6. Maybe I could fit this sort of tidbit in there. So let's see. It feels big. Can I make a H7? No, that's too much. That's too much, man. H6 works though. But what's with the borders? Oh boy. What the heck is that? Why does it insist on having borders like that? Okay, that's that. Does the table have borders? Yep, it has a bottom border. It's defined in style. I don't know. I guess it's gonna be better if I just make a new line there. Ah. Okay. Okay, I guess that works for now. Money, beats. Yes, that's the thing I'm forgetting. Do I want to expand the luck and soul table to include beats in it as well? I guess those would be written a lot. Yeah, let's do that. So it's gonna be same as this table, except it's gonna be luck, soul, bits. It feels a little big, but for now it will do, I guess. I need to include the title merit right above the number line. Right, 0. Top 10 pixels. Actually more. 30, 20, and it works. And now this needs to be pushed further from the top. There we go. It all fits. Wonderful. It's not pretty, but it is functional, I think. Okay, that totally works. Excellent. Hold on. I need to go away for a moment, a teeny tiny moment. Right. Okay. I think this is a decent amount of progress, and I say that with the tone of someone who is about to either end the stream or switch the topic. And I will admit, I am very tempted to just stop working on this and switch to something else. But let's just try to keep working on it just a little bit more. Previously, it looks like I decided to associate body parts with what abilities you get. And while that is cool, it could lead to someone having the hands of a devil or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so this is outside. This will be not on the back, which is good. It is on the right side of the page. The back will be on the right side of how you lived. Therefore, I think the stuff like home and so on should be written on the other side. I wonder if this does anything. Nope, it doesn't do anything. Wait, where did it go? Oh, what the hell? Oh, it's thinking it is display block. Shoot, what is it called? Inline? I mean, that works, but why isn't it rotated now? Strange. Maybe it flex? Oh man, why isn't it working? Again. Oh wait, I have an idea. There we go. Minus 90, so that it's turned the right way around. Give or take, I guess that's good enough for now. It feels really weird and off to be designing a character sheet before I design the game itself. Okay, whatever. I don't really think I should be working on the character sheet more now, because the rest of it is more or less predictable. The first page is the most troublesome, and that is designed. The rest of it would be pretty much this done again and again. With the only concern being, oh no, what if not everything fits on the page or something like that? First, this is just about writing out all the features, which I've been avoiding. Gotta face my fears. And for that I need more water, I think. Okay, let me just check my notes real quick. Some of the features for the weapons are really simple, while others are really complicated. That's the thing that worries me a lot. Could I have body parts still featured along with the NPCs? That could be pretty interesting. Bullet types are also interesting, but I don't know. Let's just copy my notes from last time, at least about the weapons, into the document. Oh boy. Yeah, that's why it's worrying. That's why it's worrisome. Can attack from the range, has 6 bullets. What do you spend when attacking? When you don't have enough bullets, you must spend the turn reloading. Okay. I mean, it's not something amazing, but it is better than a long one like this one. Honestly, the anchoring one feels like a bit too much, and it's not gonna help me much by doing that. Oh, bother. Ice is not helping much either. I mean, this is almost it. On a hit, you can choose to hook the target. Whenever you or the target move, the other one moves to... Hmm. Not sure how to shorten it. But for now, at least, it's contained in the document somehow. The worst one among the bullet types to me is Ricochet right now. It is a cool word, I will give it that, but it's not a material. Then again, Blink is not a material either, so yeah. Could I get rid of the requirements column? I could probably, but it would make things way more messy, so let's not do that. Honestly, with the anchoring, I feel like the second part is the worst one. I mean, yes, it would be cool to have your weapon appear in your hand, but on hit, you may force the target to drop one held item instead of taking damage. Really? That's shorter? What the hell? I guess F and R are pretty narrow for letters. Maybe if I do dealing? Instead of damage. I mean, truth to be told, I shouldn't even be worrying about this table. Maybe I could combine the damage mod and the requirements. I don't know. It is a bit messy, especially if I want to include the whole table on an A5 page. For now, it will do. Okay, home features. Newcomer and mountains. What the opposite of dangerous? Hazardous, risky, no, that's synonyms, antonyms. Safe, harmless. Harmless commands. Ah. Non-hostile animals follow your simple, harmless orders. Pretty good. Tell me, all costs you pay are reduced by 1 bit. Let's also add minimum 1 bit, because you don't get stuff for free. Okay, but what was actually 1 bit? No, not computing. Money. Oh, 12.5 cents. So it's like 1/8 of a dollar. Strange. 12.5 cents bill. Incredible. Okay. I mean, it's not much, but, you know, it works. I don't have ideas for the newcomer or mountains features, but whatever, that will come with time. Why isn't the line visible? BR, one family, margin. Height, account color, overflow, hidden. It seems like everything is hidden. Okay, let's see what can be done about that. Border bottom, 1 pixel solid black with 100%. Height, 1 pixel. Visibility, visible. I don't know. Why is it not showing up? APR. It's just not here. Display inline property prevents width from having an effect. Try setting display to something other than inline. So maybe display block? Okay, whatever. This is wasting everyone's time, most of all mine. So let's skip that for now. And just do something like boom boom boom. Oh, there we go. That works. Actually, let's check what that is. Is it a new element? Oh, it's HR, not BR. I'm such a dum-dum. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Sometimes I get so involved in all that HTML and CSS stuff that I forget, oh yeah, I got Markdown that I can use. Okay, former profession features. Honestly, it would be a little counterproductive for me to try to list all professions here. Maybe I could just say something like name is made up by the player, and You can add one die to any role related to your previous profession. Only all generic, but you know, it's better than nothing. Call features. That should be something to do with why you are adventuring. Maybe you are seeking treasures. Maybe you are trying to make the world a better place. Something like that. So let's just start with riches. Fame. Keys. Okay, let's start. Actually, wait. Ash's Guide to RPG Personality. Oh, site is not working anymore. Okay, this. It's not working anymore. Oh man, I liked that so much. 12 years old. No. It's all gone. RP backgrounds. Oh. Yes. Bingo. I mean, okay. It's not ideal, because I would prefer to have everything listed at the same time, but having anything is better than nothing. Now, primary motivators are exactly what I'm looking for. So let's see if I can access that. Motivators, here we come. Here we go. Let me just... Oh, here we go also, that also works. Primary motivator, emotional disposition. Okay, primary motivators. Let me just put that into a separate window. Okay. Now, success. I know it's called achievement, I just don't want to go with exactly what the Ash's personality guide says. Just want to mix it up a little. Riches. Balance and peace. Let's go with peace. Beneficence. To protect the helpless, heal the sick, feed the hungry, etc. That me kind of feels like peace. Even though peace is more about bringing all things into harmony and equilibrium, but you know, you do that in part by helping the people who don't have it that well. Chaos? To disrupt, to cause confusion and discord. I wonder if I can put it in another way, but right now I cannot think of any, so let's skip that for now. Creation. To build or make new, such as art, culture, invention, design, etc. Honestly, I think I will skip this. You did not become a cowboy to make shoes or something. You became a cowboy to get revenge. Destruction. To annihilate, exterminate, unmake, and bring to ruin. That sounds tempting. But I don't want to name it destruction. That feels like too much. Discovery and adventure. I want to say exploration, but that feels like still on the nose. Wanderlust. Education. No. Enslavement? Absolutely not. Hedonism. To enjoy all things sensuous. Pleasure. Liberation. To free the self and or others. Nobility, honor. To exalt ideas such as generosity, honesty, bravery, and courtliness. You know, I don't really want to do that, because that already falls within merit. It will have its own consequences there. So, that being said, destruction is pretty much the same. And I'm thinking peace as well. I mean, you don't become a gun-wielding cowboy in order to seek peace. If anything, you would seek to, I don't know, do more than just peace, like helping others. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Order. Arrange, organize, and reduce chaos. I mean, I will write it down for now, but I don't know if it's necessary. Play, to have fun, to enjoy life. That's gonna fall within pleasure. Power, of course. Wealth, fame, power. Recognition, to gain approval, social status, or fame. I cannot believe I don't have that yet. Although, success is arguably something like that. To overcome obstacles and succeed to become the best. I mean... You know what? Let's remove success. It's either success for the sake of fame or success for the sake of power or something. I don't know. Just success on its own feels off to me. Recognition, service, to follow a person, government, order, religion, etc. Nah, let's not do that. Torment, absolutely not. And understanding case, okay. I would file understanding underneath Wanderlust or something like that. Domesticity is another idea. Tranquility. Rebellion, to act out against or contrary to any and all forms of authority. Competition, to enter into or create zero-sum opportunities to win over others. I mean, 8 is a good number. Let's just stick with that for now. Optimistic, pessimistic, conscientious, unscrupulous, controlled, spontaneous, intrepid, cautious, flexible, stubborn, warm, cold, agreeable, discordant, engaging, reserved, candid, secretive, conventional, and heterodox. Sense of humor, sexuality, trick, religion and spirituality, habits and hobbies. Background, here we go. wow. Okay, that's a long list of professions. Okay, so what calls to the player? Riches and power? Honestly, I could imagine those two being one and the same. Because money is power, in some sense of the word. Fame. Oh, actually, I need to list the obsessions somewhere. I like that. Much better. Except it's now a little weird. Okay, I guess this could make it clear that those are examples of obsessions. Okay. Honestly, chat, I did not make much, but I feel like I am cooked already. And still far from something that I could actually publish, which is a bummer. Okay, let's see. Can I make anything out of these? See, chaos and order feel weird to make features for. Wanderlust. Pleasure I will remove also, because that is already an obsession. I don't know. How the hell do I even want to deal with advantage and disadvantage in this system? Hmm. Well, fame, power. Hmm. Uh, let's keep it like this for now, I guess. Let's see, do I have anything in my notes regarding summoning the legends, the myths? No. But I should have it somewhere. Here. Edgemyth can fulfill almost any demand for a price. Whenever the player rolls the same number on 3 dice, one of the myths approaches. If there's a conflict, the myth will wait until the conflict is over. Okay, I guess this is good enough. It is not amazing, but you know what? It is okay enough. Maybe something more for the mountains, a newcomer. Alright, this is where I wanted to use those 10-minute social features. Let's see, what were they again? Okay, these mission. There we go, and okay, I wonder how this will look if I put it on the character sheet. Not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed. I guess it works, kind of. True stalk. Maybe here? At least for now. Okay, I do like this, but I cannot select it because of the paw, of course. Actually, you know what? Let's just delete it temporarily. Ooh, I like this. Maybe this should be the mountain feature. And this could be like wilderness feature. Again, 1 luck. Demon, not finished though. Also nothing. Spectre, Fate, Myth. Noon. Nice. I will definitely need to save this somewhere, so let's go ahead and do that. Why is this acting so stubborn? Actually, it's been a while since I came up with these rules, so might as well reread them and see how my opinions on them holds up. Quick draw is right as old as the invention of the first firearms. Its laws shall be followed. Whoever violates a law of the quick draw gets -1 merit, and +1 merit is for acts of honor. The law of fairness. The fate itself will prevent any influence by quick draw's non-participants. Guns will jam, blades will slip through the fingers, projectiles will miss. The luck itself will bend to protect the sacred right. Those who partake in a quick draw must announce it before it starts, or remain silenced until it is over. The law of the high noon. The quick draw may be initiated only within the 3 hours that follow the high noon. The law of marks. The number of weapons you may aim at the others shall not surpass the number of weapons aimed at you. Yeah, so if a single person is pointing a weapon at you, you cannot point a weapon at 2 people. Oh, although, honestly, I don't know if this one is that important. The law of one chance. A firearm used in a quick draw can only be loaded with a single bullet. The law of the pistol. Revolver is the only approved weapon for use in a quick draw. The law of 10 paces. No 2 participants of a quick draw can have a distance of less than 10 paces between one another, preventing the use of melee weapons. I mean, we already stated that only revolvers are allowed. The draw. Before the quick draw is initiated, all of its participants must come forth and announce themselves. Each participant is responsible for their own gun, though it is seen as honorable to borrow a revolver to a participant without a gun. The fate initiates the quick draw by setting the die of reckoning to 0. Each participant decides whether they do or don't shoot by holding their weapon's dice in the fist. This is when they announce their targets, whether it's by aiming their fist at them or speaking it verbally. They can change their choice based on the choices of other participants. You know what? I think I will just make it so that you can bring only one weapon, which would eliminate the law of marks. Surpassing weapons aimed at you. The law of pistol, or one chance. Okay, whatever. They can change their choice based on the choices of other participants. So, the way I imagine it is everyone would hold their fists closed over the table, possibly with the dice inside, possibly not, and they would aim the fist at someone. Like, I am going to shoot this guy. I am going to shoot, I don't know, Kentucky Joe. And then, once I find out that Kentucky Joe is not shooting at me, I could say, okay, I'm gonna actually shoot at Arizona Bill or something. I don't know. Step 2. Once everyone has decided, locked in who they are shooting at, all participants open their fists, rolling the dice if they were holding any at the same time. Attacks made with one-handed weapons are resolved before attacks made with two-handed weapons. Actually, that's not necessary because we have only pistols. Only revolvers. Luck can't be used to avoid these attacks. If a participant rolls dice that do not correspond to any weapon they could be wielding, all of their weapons jam and their merit is decreased by 1. After the round in which the first shots are made ends, the quick draw will last only one more round. I think. The die of reckoning is increased by 1. Wounds are resolved as they would be in any other shootout. Any total of 6 or higher will kill its target. So, I think this could be simplified a little, because right now with 2 pages, that is a lot. I'm trying to think if I could eliminate any more laws. Having 6 laws was pretty cool, sure, but it's also a bit too much. Law of fairness. Whatever, I'll keep it as it is for now. Law of high noon. Only within the 3 hours that follow the high noon. I mean, that one is fine. It is not doing much for the game, but it is a fine limitation, I think. One chance and pistol. I feel like these two could be combined. Revolver is the only approved weapon. So the quick draw firearm used in a quick draw can only be loaded with a single bullet. Oh right, I get it now. Attacks made with one-handed weapons are resolved before the attacks made with two-handed weapons, because two-handed weapons could be used at the cost of merit. Yeah. Unless I would apply the law of fairness, but I don't know. I don't know yet. Boom. Look at that. So much shorter. So much better. Law of 10 paces. I guess for now that will do. I do still like the rooms for the most part. I don't know if I will keep it all in the final version, but you know, something. Yeah, not much here. Okay. So, let's see how much further do we have to move it. 1, 2, 3 pages further. Yep, correct. No, not today. Former profession feature. Increase your stat by 1 whenever you make a roll relevant to your former profession. Yeah, I guess that's a clean way to resolve that. Add 1 to the roll when attacking your vendetta. Add 1 to the roll when attacking another person's vendetta. Okay, time to switch up music. Okay. Silence. Wow. Okay. I feel like I will end the stream soon. I've included a little secret somewhere. I will not say where exactly, but I will say that the secret will only be available for 6 more hours. which is certainly not much. Time is ticking. Well, not 6 more hours. 6 hours since I made the announcement of the stream, I believe, which would mean you have less than 3 hours left. Find it and to make use of it. Okay, newcomer neutral ground. No. A being with a level lower than yours may attack another in your presence unless in danger. We are hidden from beings with a level lower than yours. Beings with a lower level than yours will attack or approach you unless they must. Okay, I need to make some edits there because previously I used the formulation of lesser soul and I like that. There it is. Beings of a lesser soul will ignore you. Beings of a lesser soul won't attack or approach you unless they must. A lesser soul may attack another in your presence unless in danger. When they are close to another being, you're hidden from beings with the level of beings of a lesser soul. Okay. You know what? I think the Nemesis one might only provide a benefit for swearing an oath that you will kill one of the 6 myths. And if you do that, you get to pretty much make up your own feature or something. I don't know. So, for example, if you kill the Undertaker, you will kill death for good. What will that entail? What will that mean? I have no idea. And neither does the GM of this game, or anyone really. By the way, this depiction of Undertaker, some of you probably know, it's inspired by this little animation online called Backwater Gospel. It's just fantastic. You know what? Just for the old time's sake, I will rewatch just the beginning of it. You might be you might want to be a little cautious because there might be some loud sounds in there. We're gonna watch just the first minute or so. That's that's how it starts. I like it a lot. It's such a classic. So that's why I had to put something like that into this game. I don't know yet if I will be calling him the Undertaker, but that's my headcanon for now. The other ones, okay, Chupacabra is a very temporary name. I don't know yet what exactly will I call the beastly type of myth. Ghost Rider, almost certainly, unless I would get sued by oh, uh, whoever wrote this. I guess that's Marvel? Yeah, Marvel. So maybe this, maybe something else. The Doll Maker, that's gonna be the mechanical one. Stranger is gonna be just a human. Actually, no, that's gonna be Angel, I think. And the devil is, of course, a demon, but demon plus something like that. You don't pay attention to the tension because I did not really fill out any of these except for little bits here and there. But this is actually a feature that I planned for the Undertaker because the whole story of that animation is revolving around a small frontier town which feels terrorized by the presence of Undertaker. The myth goes that when Undertaker is coming, someone is about to die. And then everyone hides in their homes, waiting for several, I think, 7 days, while Undertaker is just outside, sitting, waiting patiently. Understandably, this causes the tension to boil and increase within people to the point where they will go, it's gonna, it's gonna, it's got to be that one man who made fun of the priest. We must kill him to get rid of the Undertaker. They do that, kill the guy, and wait for the Undertaker to do his thing. But he is not doing anything. The tension keeps rising. Who did he come for? Well, it ain't gonna be me. And yeah, the rest is history, slaughtering each other. The thing about the Die of Reckoning is that it's a number you can add to your rolls, I believe, or maybe to your stats in this case, actually. No, to your rolls, because it's gonna make attacking more interesting, I think. Uh, it goes from 0 to 6. After the first round, the GM puts up the die, and at the start of every round, the GM turns the die, increasing it by one number. Once this number reaches 6, that's usually it. But in this case, even though it's not going to do much, the Die of Reckoning just keeps increasing wherever he goes. Now, yeah, it will reset at some point eventually, sooner or later. The point is just that if he is hanging around you after you're done fighting, the tension will just keep increasing. You will feel like someone must die. And if it's not the Undertaker, who knows who is about to die next? Anyway, let's see. Each myth can fulfill almost any demand for a price. That's the key here. This is very much inspired by 13th Age, specifically the icons, which are these powerful beings which players can have personal ties to. And I like that structure, so I wanted to include something like that in my Wild West game. Whenever the players roll the same number on 3 dice, one of the myths approaches. If there's a conflict, the myth will wait until the conflict is over. The myth will treat players whose obsession matches theirs as an old friend. You know, oh, your obsession is apathy. You don't give a shit. So do I, my friend. If the player makes a demand, they must make an offer too. The myth will always ask for more out of an offer. I really like that line. It means that whatever the player is willing to offer to the myth will always seek gain more out of it. Therefore, it's best for the players to start out low. But, well, it's not gonna be low for too long because the GM too has a brain. If the players make no demands or offers, the myth will make an offer instead. You know, just as a little temptation. Something. Something to think about until they meet again. Since you only roll 3 dice whenever you make an easy roll, this is something that he would be seeing very, very rarely. And honestly, I'm trying to think of what feels wrong. I guess what feels wrong is that for rolls, regular checks, I ask the player to roll 1 to 3 dice and keep the lowest roll. While with the attacks, he would probably be rolling and keeping the highest roll. I don't know if I like that yet. Hard to tell. How did she die? See, when there's a how you died page, you would expect to get a feature from the method in which you died, like, oh, if someone drowned, they will get this, and if they burned alive, they will get that, and if they get shot, they will get this. But I don't know if I have space for that. I also need space for curses. And curses I could put on a sticky note. Huh, that could work, I think. I mean, yes, it would be an extra thing that people need to bring to the table, but I feel like this is the thing that I talked about previously also. Oh, there it is. Lichen is a curse written on a post-it note. Zombie is a curse written on a post-it note stuck on the scrape page of character scene. Do I want to do the injuries as NPCs? Main hand, head, scrape, legs, offhand, chest. Oh, I don't know. And honestly, I'm feeling tired. I think I'm gonna wrap it up and maybe play some video game, relax and unwind, maybe get some new ideas or just have a good time. It's been a good stream though. I feel like I've made a lot of progress and I can't wait to see what more will I do. So, with that being said, I would like to thank everyone who attended the stream today. Best of luck finding the secret. The secret. And may we meet again another time. Bye bye.